Yeah.
Oh. Hey guys, I'm Dylan and welcome to episode 1 of Time to Taste. I'm here with Tom, Justin, and my co-host Laura Poppy.
Today we're in London and we're cooking rigatoni alla vodka. We're gonna make a normal version and a vegan version because our friend here, Tom, is vegan. We will be chatting, talking about our lives, how we got into watches, what kind of fired the passion for these beautiful objects. We'll talk about cars as well a little bit.
Ooh.
And most importantly, we will cook and eat.
Perfect.
She's been starving me all morning. So.
But we have to say, it's all I have to say, that we have had no tee up as to what the hell we're in for today. So we don't know what we're going to be eating, we don't know who's going to be cooking, or we don't know who can cook. But Tom, I've heard you're a fantastic cook, so that's all good.
I don't think I've ever cooked in terms of chopping or doing it. I've never, other than toast or cereal. No idea. Deliveroo?
This is about to be an adventure.
Sponsored by Deliveroo.
Never say never.
So because we're making 2 versions of the same meal, we're gonna team up and it'll be the brunettes and the blondes. Dylan, do you want to take us through the recipe?
Very simple. We're gonna have fresh tomatoes, tomato paste, bit of chili, vegan and regular butter, vegan and regular cream, and then a splash of vodka just to give it a little bit of oomph, and then season to taste, and some fantastic pasta from Italy, I assume.
Fine.
Simple for us beginners, and yeah, we'll take it as we come.
Wow.
That's your one, this is our one, and pasta to the
Okay.
middle. Yep,
Fantastic.
perfect.
I'm so out of my depth already. What's filling with horror, all of this? Looks very official.
Does it?
Yeah, you really screwed up. You're going to be carrying this one. I'm just going to be observing.
That's great. As long as you make funny comments throughout.
Can't promise to be funny. I can make comments.
What do your partners think of your allocated budget to fun,
Or food.
pretty
Food or-
objects?
Food or watches.
Watches and cars?
The
though?
watch fund isn't really discussed. As long as there's it's not preventative and it doesn't prevent us putting the heating on,
Yeah.
then she's chill with it.
Okay.
So yeah, we've had a few cold weeks recently.
Does she wear them? Does she ever get into your watch box?
The tank that I brought, she wears a little Cartier. I mean, she's got her own Patek 24 that she wears all the time. She absolutely loves it. I mean, it
She looks
looks like
like a
she's
one
polished
watch.
it with a lawnmower. It's completely like destroyed. The
That's
battery's gone
what
on it.
it
Yeah,
should look like.
yeah, it's annihilated. But she's okay with watches, but she's not obsessed with it like me. So
What
for the
about
best,
your
really.
cars?
She hates the cars. As long as the car's got heated seats, then she likes it.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, then she hates it. That's about it. But she says all the ones with like spoilers on, like the noisy ones, the low ones, she says I'm pathetic. So she's got a point.
She must like this one though, with the dogs in the back.
Yeah, she loves the Defender.
With
yeah,
space for
yeah.
them. For me, oh gosh, it's quite private as well. You know, to be honest. Yeah, we just don't discuss it. It's best not to be discussed. You know, a friend of mine.
Would she be horrified? Would she be absolutely horrified? Does she think you're spending sort of 2, 3, 5 grand a watch?
So I did
And would you
create-
lie if questioned?
I would, and I have.
Yeah, good.
I don't lie about much, but I would.
Divorce incoming?
My mum's actually a divorce lawyer, but that's a side note. That's a side
Nailed
note.
it.
I'm well and prepared for that to come. No,
Stuff.
I have an Excel. I've got an Excel spreadsheet. I'm not an academic individual at all, and when it comes to numbers and maths, I'm terrible. But I thought a few years back, God, there's so many watches coming and going. I should try and log them. So I do have them all logged, and I did share it. And I'm not IT literate either, but I know on Google Drive you can share a document. I did share that document with her because I said, look, if something happens here, I've made some notes in here as to where I want them to go or who I got them from and when. And subsequently to things escalating in the last few years, going a bit bonkers, I have removed her. I hope she's not watching this.
Removing
video.
access
I've
from your wife
removed
is brutal.
I've removed access to that doc just because it has got a little bit out of hand.
So you've lost honesty and transparency.
Correct. That is correct.
So now if something happens,
What she is,
Whatever.
what she is though, is she's absolutely honest. She's almost the opposite of me, in the sense that I want to please. She does not give a shit about pleasing. She'll say, "That's disgusting. I hate that. That's disgusting." And often I find it, and I'd love to get her on a clip or a video of some kind one day because she's so brutal. When I show her something new, I'm like, "What do you think of that design?" She's like, "It looks like something that's deeply offensive." You know, that's where
Perfect.
she's at. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's all I can
Ignorance is
confess right now.
bliss.
That's all I can confess right
So the
now.
marriage can tolerate.
Yeah. Well, you sort of share it. That's where your watch friends come in. You know,
Yeah.
you share those moments,
Yeah,
the new
absolutely.
pickups and the questions. And ultimately, it doesn't matter. You know, I've questioned that. It doesn't matter if your partner actually likes it or not. You know, it does, but does it really? You know, I don't know. If you enjoy it, you know, ultimately it is a thing for you.
Yeah.
I think social's been great for so many reasons for all of us, but it can also be a negative in the fact that you get these things, you get the car, you want to enjoy them for yourself, and if that's not primarily there, then there's a problem.
What's been your most sentimental watch?
Chop the onion while you answer that question.
Where's the onion? I'm waiting for the ball. Where's my knife as well?
Where is the onion?
Waiting for my thumb to come off.
Oh.
Sentimental watch. It's got to be. Well, it's split between two for me.
Wait, do you need the garlic as well?
It's split between two. It's split between the very first watch, which was the watch I got from my dad when I was 21, that his dad had. So an Omega Constellation, a day.
Are you good with lines?
Shit, I'm okay. Let me give it a crack. Let me give it a crack.
Is your-
But talking and doing something.
I'm fine. I'm just, you know.
Talking and doing something that could be dangerous. So it's between the Omega, the 1968
He's done this before. Look at that. Look at that. The way you just swiveled that onion.
Constellation.
That was
One time.
wild.
Wait for the skin. Here we
Peel
go.
the skin, the whole lot.
Here we go. Yeah, so the day, I got that on my 21st birthday from my dad, who actually had no idea what it was and wasn't going to give it to me as a present, but he just said, hey, you know, your dad, you know, he was English but lived in South Africa, and this day was his only watch. And I'm going to go quarters.
Welcome to womanhood.
How finely do we want this? How
So
finely
we
do
want
we
it
want this?
relatively finely chopped because
Yeah.
it kind of has to just disappear into the
Okay.
into the sauce.
Wait for it, wait for it.
So you're married.
Sorry, sir?
You're married. No, sorry, don't worry. I'm not propositioning you. You're,
No.
you're married. I want to
am.
ask you what watch did you wear on your wedding day? Because
Sorry.
I've got my wedding day coming up.
Yes,
and,
you have. Yes, you have.
And it falls to what's the most important watch in your collection? Because it's not really a flex your wedding day. It's about wearing something, I guess, that's important to you.
Yes.
Did you go for that, or did you just go for?
this one or that one?
Full
Tom,
on flex.
So I didn't wear that Omega. So that Omega's with my sister, and she
Right.
wears that now because it's a little bit small for me.
Yep.
The watch I wanted to wear was a watch that I'd had in my mind for a long time before the marriage, well before the relationship, and it was a 1921 Vacheron 1921
Nice.
in yellow gold.
Yeah, love
and
that thing.
I literally, I didn't have the money to buy it in full, so I went to Watches of Switzerland.
0%?
155, yeah, 0%,
Lovely.
155. But I got it literally 2 days before, and I went by myself.
Nice.
And I just thought, you know what, I'm going in today, and I'm going to go and buy it. And I
Good.
walked in the door, boom, walked straight to the Vacheron boutique that was there. And I think the lady was taken back when she was like, you know, can I help you at all? And I said, you know, that's it. And I knew there was one yellow left before they discontinued it in 2020. And well, I would tell you what, let me get it out for you. Christ Almighty, it's right here. Talking of which, this is what I prepared earlier. It's right here, and there it is, and it's in yellow gold, and it's been
Stunning.
beaten the hell out of, as you can see. And they discontinued the yellow, and they've gone to rose. I personally just love the yellow because it's so charming. It's got that old school glamour to it, which I think the watch is all about. And yeah, and I walked out almost the same day, although there was some checks that went on, and I was conscious that I might not pass those checks to get
It's a soft credit check. You'll be fine as long as you're above 800 on Experian. You're all right.
Well, I'm not sure I have anymore, but that's
No,
the side.
you and me both.
So yeah, that was
Get this
it.
going on here. He's doing your job for you.
Christ.
Oh, are these yours, Tom? These are yours.
I think we probably
Are
need
these-
to pass
okay.
the onion.
Yeah,
Okay,
get
cool.
on there. Good job. Well done.
And so yeah, and then to compound it, are we top right there? To compound that, so that was the wedding day, which was wonderful. Although she didn't know, by the way, that she did not know that I was going to be wearing that. So I rocked up, and there was a moment where she wasn't speaking to me
On the wedding day?
on the wedding day because she did know that
Brilliant.
that it was, you know, a punchy pickup. She did know that. She knew, and I had
Should have
taken-
called it off, mate.
I had taken her to see the two variations in the boutique. Just strategically, I thought it'd be interesting to take her there and have a look.
Eight.
So, and then my daughter was born, and I was wearing that watch as well.
Fantastic. So that is
So
really
it really
nice.
is. It is really the watch, and yeah, it wasn't necessarily planned like that, but it's happened to be that watch for me.
Fantastic.
What about you? What about you? What's your most influential? Oh, influential. Sentimental. Sorry, sentimental.
So if I had to pick a watch, it would probably be my father's
That's hell.
Milgauss. I mean, I've I've got him more into watches in the last couple of years, but he's always been kind of a one-watch kind of guy. So he picked up this Milgauss 15 years ago. It's a steel one with the
GV.
The GV, with the
GV.
green.
You've had one of those, no?
That was my first proper watch,
Yeah,
and I bought it stickered, and then I was so scared of it because it was so expensive at the time. I never wore it, and then I traded it.
Yeah.
So
And he still wears it to this day.
He is battered.
Really?
I mean, it's like got chunks missing out of it, and you know, he wears it, but I do put it on sometimes, and every time I do wear it, it just kind of brings back all of his memories that we've had together. So yeah, no, that's definitely It's definitely up there.
It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Tomboy?
sorry, I'm just mesmerised by the onions, and I'm concerned that it's going. I'm two different pots here. What's happened?
So
both the same, right?
Is that okay?
Just, yep.
this is
Both vegan at this
Well, I'm
point.
worried because that's in a different pot to that. You
There
stitched
won't
us
be any
up?
cross-contamination. You might have a little fewer onions in there.
Well, you
that's
did
fine
the
though.
chopping,
I
so
did the chopping, but that's okay.
you can compensate
wanna
with the amount
chop
of
one?
garlic that you're going to need
Just
to do.
to try it?
So that's on your now.
Do you feel like
I'm staying out of it now. I've had enough. It's starting to annoy me, the whole thing. I don't.
Right, so where's your
I'll
bit?
stick to watches.
Just over here.
Where's your
Sorry,
bit?
sorry, Lara.
Good lord.
Right, in there. Food, is that your food one?
Do we want
It's a
to
bit of
start
everything.
chopping some of the tomatoes?
Tomboy, you're in there with the garlic. You're in there with the garlic.
Mate, I can't
Try
do chopping, honestly.
No,
It's,
you can chop. You
You
can.
can try.
You can
I
absolutely
think,
chop.
honestly, I speak for everyone here, honestly, Dylan, chop.
We can give you a garlic crusher if that's easier for you.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Let's do that.
Crush
Have you
it.
used one
Is
of
there a
those?
way of getting it wrong? Just
No.
put it in and
Stick
ram
it in?
it, right?
Ram it, yeah.
Stick it in and ram it.
I mean,
It's a rule for
to
life.
get it wrong, you could keep the skin on.
You could keep the skin on, which
That
would
would make it wrong.
So
make it it's unenjoyable.
this is it's a fancy contraption.
Okay.
Can't really go wrong. Garlic's over there.
Oh,
What? Where?
You're still gonna have to. You still have to gain entry into that garlic, though. That's the thing.
I
So
absolutely
you're still
love
gonna
this.
have to. Do you want to know how you do this?
Mate, come on.
Just this. Oh, hello.
Is
Not hard
that
enough.
correct?
Yeah.
In retrospect, I actually should have done it.
Sorry, that was the best bit about the garlic. There you go. Then you're in. Look, you're in.
Okay.
Can you tell that's the extent of my cooking?
It's just one nodule in there, okay?
It's my favorite
There you go.
way.
You need a few.
I'm
Two,
never
three.
not doing that.
You're going to need to just get the skin off of it. There you go.
But you might even want to chop the end off, just as a side note. You might just want to chop that little dark nodule off. Look at him.
Oh, it's me.
There you go, Sophie. Yeah, well done. Oh, no, we don't want that one. We want that gone.
Look. So,
It looks
what
so
you want to
lost, it
remove
looks so
is this
lost.
part.
Nah, I've had enough.
So you
This
just
is awful.
chop it.
Oh, wow.
I'm having no fun here.
Oh, wow.
And then like this part
But why isn't that okay?
crushed by Justin's
There we go, yeah.
fist, but there you go. And now you can press it. Press it in.
Go on,
Do you want to-
go on, Tomboy. Go on, do
Hey,
it.
come on, I'm sure you do this at the gym.
Yeah, this is what I do in the
Very
gym.
good.
Just
Garlic
literally
press.
just.
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
Do it. There you go.
Chaos!
Yeah. And then we remove the bottom.
Chaos! Look at it.
That's a lot of garlic. Isn't it?
No, two's fine.
Do you know what? That's a lovely Christmas gift, actually. A garlic crusher
Garlic
like that.
If you get me one of those, we're going to fall out. I don't want that. That is a terrible gift.
Okay. We need to have another one because it's
Another one.
ours. So we need. Now you've trained on theirs. We can have the better one.
Your 1921's going to be smelling nice.
Tom, you haven't told us about your Sentimental yet.
I have a World War II pilot's watch that was worn by my granddad as he navigated over Germany in the back of some bomber.
Oh, wow.
And it's got his numbers in the back, RAF issue.
Wow.
Amiga.
Amiga. Wow.
Yeah, Amiga, sorry, I should have led with that. So that's what I'll wear on my wedding day.
So we've got two Amigas.
Okay.
And that's on the wedding day as well.
Yeah.
In ours.
Did you ever meet him more? Did he?
Yeah.
met him?
Met him, yeah, he's great. He had some right old tales. He got bloody hell. He got shot down, but the plane was kind of like gammy and made it across the channel, and then it came down in Sussex. And there's actually a crash site where his plane came down, and it went through a building. Actually, it wiped someone out in the building, which is not great, but they all survived, all the people on the plane, and he was wearing that watch. So
She's the watch as well. That's amazing.
there you go.
So we've got two Amigas.
Yeah.
You've got two Amigas and a Rolex. So far.
And I got it serviced just before my dad passed for his birthday. I surprised him. What do I do with that? Is that out of service now, or is that? Are we?
So you're going to now just squeeze a bit of your tomato paste in.
Laura, do you want to do this? Because I feel that I don't want to like over proportion it with tomato puree.
How much?
Have you seen this?
tomato
That's
paste
quite an
would you say
interesting,
we're
Laura. That's actually quite a nice little trick for Tom there, just in case he's ever lost in a kitchen.
Right.
So this lid, take it off, and you might wonder why it's got a sharp point.
No, I
on
know
it.
that.
Do you? Just checking. We're just checking because
does brush his teeth.
we're starting from ground zero. Here. We're starting from ground zero.
Actually, knowledge is not assumed at this point.
So how much did
starting
we say we were going to put?
So I would say two full squirts.
2 full squirts.
Too hard. Yeah.
No.
Too hard.
Yeah. So one. Yeah. Probably 3 of those.
Just to be sure.
Do you like my measuring technique?
Yes.
And what about your watch? What about your Sentimental watch?
Well, it's hard to say because I live in Geneva, and so I got robbed about 7 times. So every watch that I really cared about has been stolen. So yeah, I don't really have my own collection anymore. But I do appreciate a lot of the brands that I work with, and luckily I get to like borrow a few pieces when.
So that incident, those incidents have meant that you no longer feel like you're wanting or willing to have them at home or have a few for yourself? Or?
Yeah, so most of them are, I mean, the remaining watches are all in the safe, for sure.
Yeah.
And we move quite often, so I just moved again, so everything I own is in the safe, including all my jewelry. So I'm starting to lose the habit of wearing watches or jewelry, which is a bit sad. But
It's such a sad thing because also
Yeah.
living in London, it's I think one of our biggest concerns is can we walk the streets today with something that we put so much value on emotionally,
Yeah.
And people just put like a numerical value on those things, and it's one of those things that really would make a distinction of what watch I'm going to wear depending on where I'm going to go, and it's such a bad thing that this is happening. I mean, do you guys have any experiences of the sort?
I think both of us have managed to avoid having our heads kicked in for watches, and I don't think. Have you ever had a break-in?
I've had a few attempted break-ins in an old flat I lived in.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is people think that it's a targeted thing, but actually I don't think it was. I think I was just, there was no specific reason for them to look. But no, I'm actually, I've been okay, thankfully.
I've been okay, but I don't store any of my watches in my home. So I think people obviously assume it's a treasure trove if they get into my house or your house. But actually, we're probably the most paranoid people on earth. There's literally no valuables in my house because of the fact that I'm a target.
the more public you are, the least likely you are to have everything.
Yeah, it's the massive collectors that aren't really in the public eye and do a casual bit of Instagram. They're giving away things that they possibly shouldn't be because they're not social media trained, but if you work in the social media world, like not to leave Easter eggs of where you live online. But a lot of these collectors, they do, and I think they're the guys that tend to get hit.
Do you know anybody who's been hit?
Loads.
Yeah.
Pretty much everyone I know. Yeah. Luckily, everyone's been okay.
Is that the same with cars as well? Because I know that you can't Range Rovers aren't insured or Land Rovers aren't insured.
It's very
in
difficult
London
to get them
anymore,
insured.
right?
They tend to just be swipe it off the driveway, sort of thing, and they don't on the whole they don't tend to come in the house.
Could you just pass me the other time?
And that is.
It's the coming in the house bit that I've got a problem with. Yeah, the car going off the driveway. Well, they don't anymore because of IntelliPosts. Get a bollard.
What's the discount code?
TG10. I think it's TG100 actually.
I did have the car.
Send me an invoice for that.
I had the car nicked twice actually from my house. It's outside my place.
How did they get your car?
It was it's electric and it was quite new. And I'm going to get abuse for that in the comments on it. Electric, especially next to Tomboy.
I've got an EV. It's fine.
Yeah, I just didn't realise how easy it was. Quite honestly, I just didn't realise how straightforward it was for them to intercept the key and boom, they're just gone in the video of the because
So they copy your key digitally?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure on the technical, but
the keyless go cars, anything that you don't physically stick the key in the slot, every single garage that works on those cars needs a device that if the owner loses their key or that function stops working, they can start the car with this emergency pack. So once that pack gets into the wrong hands and it's either reverse engineered or just sent around the place being sold, and the people that make them or sell them, they fall into the wrong hands, then all the cars just start going. So there's a point in time that it happened with Ferraris, 488, the Portofino, and the generation before this current version. The Ferrari emergency open and start tool started doing the rounds. and I think it was like 15 grand, but it was being offered around on like Snapchat, the dark web, blah blah. And then suddenly I think about 150 odd Ferraris went in a sort of a 3-week period. You could tell when this machine had sort of got out there, because it means you can just walk up to the car as though it's yours and just open it and get in. And it's for people that work in garages to start the car.
Well, for me, it wasn't. I don't think it was one of those packs. I think it was just that the key was inside, even though it was in a box. It was in a Faraday cage, Faraday box. They still just between the key and the car, they can get
Bridge the signal, yeah.
So they just got and they were boom in within seconds.
Really, it was that quick?
It was that quick, and then luckily because the car was new at the time, so new, they couldn't find the tracker. They ripped out the back of the car. They couldn't find the tracker anywhere. I managed to find the car, so I felt that something was wrong, and I looked on the app, and the app showed me it was a mile down the road. So I said to my wife, I was like, I'm out of here. I'm not. She was going bonkers. I was like, look, I'm not going to get into a scuffle with anyone here. But the car's there. I'm not sitting here at home having a coffee, knowing that the effing car's down the road. I'm going to go get the car. So I sprinted down the road, and I could hear it beeping. When I was clicking, I could hear it. And they parked it in an underground car park. And the way it works is they leave it there for 24 hours, 48 hours. If it's not been taken back, then they'll be shipped out to wherever it goes. But got it home. I managed to get it home. The boot was everything was compromised.
Yeah.
And I didn't appreciate that. Parked it back up at home, sat down, and then 2-3 hours later, I was like, shit, something still doesn't feel quite right. Looked at the app again, and it's now another mile down the road in the other direction.
So you came back?
Same day, same day. So gone in 24 hours twice. And at that point, I was like, I'm not letting him do this to me now. So now it's head to head.
Baseball bat?
A golf club. Had the
Nice
putter.
choice.
Had the Scotty Cameron putter in the bat.
Lovely.
Classier.
And I just thought, you know what? And again, they just parked it down somewhere, and I got it back. And at that point, the police were like, "Look, we should put it in our place just to protect it until it's been secured again." But now we got a bar on it. Whether that protects it, God only knows.
I've got one of those disc lock things, and they go on all the like the Defender and stuff.
is
It looks like a big Pac-Man thing. Goes on the steering wheel.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just essential. It's a nightmare.
See, that doesn't happen in
Vodka
Geneva.
in.
Oh yeah,
You guys
you're getting
have-
there.
Are you guys drinking?
Yeah, also a bit of it. Drink driving between friends. No, that's not funny. Not in my profession.
Remember, honesty, transparency, out the drain.
Yeah.
We'll burn the alcohol off.
Petit peu.
And just,
You get a tiny bit, yeah,
give
there
it a
we
bit
go.
Yeah,
of a-
tiny,
So-
tiny litre or two.
If you cook it for more than 2-3 minutes,
It's gone.
It loses all the alcohol and it becomes
There we
kind
go.
of like potato water. Steamy.
Who decided pasta was going to be the right call today? Is this one of your favourites? Is this one of your personal favourite
No, it's
recipes?
the only meal we could figure out how to
vegan
make
version.
that was vegan.
That was perfect.
Yes,
Yeah.
so I've caused a problem. Perfect.
My go-to is chuck roast.
Chop roast.
Chuck roast.
Chalk
Like
roast.
the shoulder of the
Pig.
no
Cow.
cow. Yeah,
Ah.
beef shoulder.
Slow cooked.
Slow cooked,
How's
3
your
hours.
spice tolerance?
Really good, mate.
Moderate.
Yeah?
Hard
But
as
that's
nails,
yours.
me.
Yeah, it's moderate.
It's moderate. The man's covered
Are
it.
we being
The man's
generous?
absolutely covered it.
You do you.
I was
It's
gonna put
swimming. It's swimming in chili.
Need to get.
I'm a dustbin. I eat anything.
Do you mind
honestly.
using them a little
How
wash?
do you guys know each other?
Tomboy, give us a wash there.
That's all.
Cheers, mate.
Do you think?
What's that?
How did you guys meet?
It was on an app. Yeah, it was a late Sunday night. And I was looking for something, he was looking for something. We met up in a park, and that was the end of it. Do you know what's funny about this? Is that Tom and I actually were introduced by one of my absolute best friends from school. And this WhatsApp introduction happened about 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
Cheers,
Neither of us responded to it. We both ignored the intro from our friend Joe. And we only look back at it in recent years. I was like,
Yeah.
God, Tom, shit, we got introduced in like 2005 or something. And neither of us. Yeah, because at the
Bad on our
time,
phones, even then.
he was doing some work with London Muscle and Tom and his brothers, another business that they run, training business. And this guy, my friend, knew I was into watches, and he said, "Hey, I'm doing some work with this guy, and he likes watches as well. Maybe that's the funny thing about watches or cars or anything is, hey, you should meet someone that also likes watches or cars." And it's like, yeah, I'll meet them at some point. I don't really want to meet them in the person because I don't want to spend the day heading out to meet some random, which does happen a little bit.
And often, if someone's really, really into watches, often that's not always the
A good
best
thing.
sign.
It's a fine balance.
To
Isn't
everyone
it?
watching this.
You find that you build some great friendships,
Yeah.
and some great, and we've been fortunate.
Sorry, can we just focus on this? How do we get
Christ
that?
almighty, look at the
Get in
finger,
there now.
look at the grip on that man. Look at the
Is
grip on that man.
absurd.
Can we get
Ainsley
slow-mo
Harriott.
on there? No, you can make some great friends through the hobby, and that's one of the, again, touching on social, one of the great things is it brings you together. You can make some great friends, and I think we both have. But it does take time because it's a fine balance between sort of an interest in it, not too much of an interest in it, you know, keeping it in check.
There are other
I'll
things
do yours
going on.
for you as well, mate. Don't worry.
There are other things
Yeah,
going
please.
on.
I didn't want to show you up, so yeah.
Then weirdly enough, Tom's fiance and I
Fascinating.
actually knew each other.
We used to
dated.
date.
We did not date. We
Right.
did not date. We did not date, but we did know of each other actually
Yeah.
before we knew each other, which is strange.
Did you know her?
Yeah, of course. Remember because Rich, you know, her best friend Rich.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was
Okay,
dating.
yeah.
I was dating. This is a long-winded connection, but so her best friend's sister. So Rich Sinclair
Yeah.
and
We'll have a
Louise,
family tree.
Louise Byron Sinclair,
Is that
lovely
too much for you?
woman. We were dating at uni together.
chaos.
Yeah. Do you remember he came around and said something the other day to you?
It rings a bell, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not-
and you messaged and you said, "Hey,
Yeah,
this
okay.
was maybe a year ago now."
Yeah, I
But,
know.
anyway, that was a longer one. So I knew Tom's fiance before I knew him, which is quite funny, and we've not discussed that
No stories, please.
publicly or privately. But then what was our first physical get together? Because there would have been a moment when we came together. It was at the petrol station when I was charging the car.
We were charging our
both
electric
charging
cars,
together,
yeah.
and you popped up next to me and I thought, oh, pitch black, Sunday night,
Yeah.
charging, and you used to live nearby me at the time. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you actually, you used to live where I sort of grew up, so
Yeah.
yeah, we've kind of been circling each other for years.
But the worst thing has been in recent years, we both got the same taste for watches. And we've got the same taste for putting ourselves in holes, financial holes, that are very hard to get out of. And that's where Tom and I have really found a bond. And so the watches that, we've had many of the same watches, and we have many of the same watches. And I think, Tom's, you've got to have a good friend in your life that's a go-to to make you feel better about the idea of buying something. And often it's like,
I'll never say don't do it.
never. You get a
Never.
kick. You get a kick out of seeing a friend take a plunge.
Diving back into their overdraft.
And that's what we've got.
I think I saw a video you posted about picking up a watch in Amsterdam and IWC's white ceramic. Yeah. Which I thought it was so nice that you went with your friend to pick up a watch that was for her.
Exactly. Well, now think about it. Tom actually was kind enough to come and do an episode with me, almost like what we're doing here today, because you guys haven't done an episode of this before. This is the first episode. Tom had never seen I'd never done anything on YouTube until pretty much doing an interview with Tom about 2 of his watches. So he trusted in me, and that was kind of the opportunity to really connect.
Yeah.
But no, that was amazing, because that was such an authentic story about a girl, Emily, who I'm good friends with, and she, in her episode, said,
Oliver in the water.
I'm looking for, that's cool, isn't it? And a bit of salt in there as well, no?
Yeah.
And a bit of salt, yeah.
Are you judging me for oil?
What's happened?
Bit of oil in the pasta, salt in the water. And no, we did this for, and this is the power of YouTube, and I'm sure you guys, as you go through your episodes, this is what you'll find is, did this episode with my friend Emily, and she at the end of it said, one day I'd love to own, my grail is a white ceramic Da Vinci from IWC, late 80s, a rare watch for sure, and an oddball. People either love it or hate it, which is cool as well. Anyway, this guy emailed me out of the blue. I can't remember his name now, but out of the blue, Monday morning. Jimmy.
You couldn't remember in the video as well.
Hey. But I have spoken to him subsequent to this, and he said, hey, just listen, love the chat with you and Emily. By the way, there is one of these available. And this is the thing about cars and watches, it's actually quite a small world. So the things that we've owned, the things that we've sold, the things we want to buy, someone we will know will have owned them before as well. Yeah. So it's just funny. And that was authentic, because she really did put her money on the table, and she really did pick it up, and she really does wear it all the time now. So that's the cool thing about any of these things, is if they're being worn and enjoyed, that's when it's really cool. That's when it's really cool.
Yeah, she's wicked as well.
Oh, she's good fun. She's
great.
She loves it.
She's really into it.
She probably loves it more. The passion is fire. The fire burns deep.
She'll be proud of you today with that on.
So today, quick wrist check. So, what are you wearing there, Dylan?
So today,
we should have done this at the start, really.
Got the DB27, so the W3 and DB27. The Titan Hawk is the V2 version in the blue dial, and then I put it on a very kitchen-friendly rubber strap.
Great
to wash off. I love it because it's got the articulating lugs. It's in titanium, so extremely comfortable, super light, and it's one of my favourite daily watches.
Some people might be put off by the size, but actually in titanium, and as you say, those lugs with the rubber strap, it's pretty damn wearable, no?
I think so. I mean, like, even under kind of a cuff of a jumper, it fits very well. It's it has presence. Let's not beat around the bush. It's a 43mm case, but like you said, it's extremely thin and super light, and I think it works really well. So no, it was my first real independent watch purchases, and I haven't looked back since. So
Nice. I loved everything. I haven't yet found one that I've been able to square away in my own head. I love the jump out. I've been looking at that jump out recently, thinking that's amazing. But really interesting brand. I know you've bought one with you.
Yeah, we've got one in stock.
What have you got there? Whip it out for us.
Oh, I thought you'd never ask.
Go on, whip it out. Because it's one of the more odd. It's one of the oddballs, I'd say, from the collection. It's not the first that you think of. What is it?
It is a DBS. I've got to check the back now. It's a DBS R. So Dylan, I'm sure, is probably more favoured these, but it's an early one.
Yeah.
It's interesting because it's got the combination, hasn't it, of the old lugs, the old style lugs.
The bullet lugs.
Yeah,
exactly.
the bullet lugs.
You've got the spherical moon phase on there. You've got the exposed balance wheel and whatnot. You've got the blued hands.
Closed case back, pretty much as well.
Closed case back. There's a power reserve on the back. Finishing's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, because you've got that like Geneva strike. Oh, actually, it's called the Debitoon, so it's the opposite of a Geneva strike that they do, but directly on the dial.
You happy with that?
Yeah, it's interesting because it's so accessible. Because you look at it and you think, how am I gonna wind that? But actually, it really gives you that, and the little knurling on it gives you access, which is.
And they didn't make many of these at all. There was a first generation of these with I think the balance wheel was slightly different. That sort of skeletonized bit in the middle. They had a first gen that was slightly less aesthetic and slightly less interesting. It wasn't polished or anything, and it wasn't quite as skeletonized. And the strap mechanism was different as well. And I think the first gen was slightly more awkward. But this is improved on the
screen's incredible.
So they made that strap for me. They're a really cool bunch, and they actually had issues because it's not the most easy strap setup.
No.
So it had to be custom made, and I just said I want green canvas with sort of leathery bits, whatever. They're all over it. Yeah. Sammy over there sorted me out, so I wear it all the time, and it's a big old boy, but because the strap drops down vertically and it's actually quite slim.
Screw down crown.
Yeah, screw down crown. You can do what you want with it.
So from a work, do you mind if I just?
Yeah, mate, please do.
Sorry, I'm going to ruin whatever audio we have because I have to open this.
No, pasta is more important than watches.
Go on, get your mic in there. Get it right up to the mic and give it a bit, because that's
Maybe
that's,
not
ASMR.
good.
that's the gold.
Can I get
Yeah,
the
that's the
knife?
gold. It does wear much better, doesn't it? It does wear beautifully.
I think it's just got all those elements of Debitoon DNA to it, and being an early piece is when old what's his name? Denny was in the mix, sort of hands-on, and yeah, I just think it's an important piece for the brand. Very, very formative piece, and I love the quirky details.
It is quirky. That's the best word. Get this one fucking quirky.
Yeah.
And also as a value proposition as well, it's precious metals. You've got that moon phase in there. You've got that skeletonization, all that finishing, and they're not crazy money.
Power reserve on the case back is in there.
50k, 45k, something like
Very
that.
reasonable, isn't it?
It's not
a lot of value.
I mean, obviously, it's a stupid amount of money to be spending on something that I wear once a month. But if you compare it to what else you can get out there for sort of 45, 50 grand, I don't know what they are now. Probably 20 grand. Yeah, I just think it's lol.
Early, I think it's definitely something that's on our radar for the future, because the quality's there, no doubt. The quality's there, and the design aesthetics there.
And if you screw it up as well, something goes wrong, it needs a service or whatever, they stand on it, they'll sort it out. And as I say, they were happy to make me a custom strap for it. I mean, what the major brands would do that? They just tell you to go away.
What do you think, Dylan, on the future of everything? Because you know them better than most.
I kind of brought it because of you, because I know you how much you enjoy them.
I'm so bullish on the company, on the ethos, and the people.
Why is that?
I think the fact that Denis Flageolet is still at the helm, and he's kind of this visionary. I mean, him and Vianney Holter and FP.01 François Bourgeon actually had a company, TGE, and he's been making these incredible movements. He's got numerous patents. And he was doing something like, I don't know, how old is this watch? This is about 15 years ago, I would say?
It's 2006, I think.
We need to get the book out,
almost
don't we?
19 years ago.
Yeah,
Right?
I think
and this was so futuristic back then. And today, it hasn't aged one bit.
No.
And today, if you compare it from what else is on the market, you would still think, oh, this watch came from the next 10, 15 years down the road. So for me, I'm so passionate and about what they do, because they're just constantly breaking those barriers. I just don't think there's anything else like them, on the market. And then you couple that with, the team that they have, who are just some of the most humble and fun people to deal with in the industry.
Yeah.
You put all those elements together. I think it's just a recipe for success.
Yeah, I agree.
A recipe for success.
Because we're cooking.
There we go. That's the soundbite. Nailed it. There we go. Got off topic there.
How do you like your pasta, Tom?
Just
I'll tell you what.
whatever. Yeah.
We
What
didn't
does the
time
packet
it,
say?
did we?
Or it was not too late?
We're supposed to know what we're doing.
Give us a bit more of that.
It says 500 grams. And then it says a bunch of stuff in Italian, and I've never dated an Italian man, so I don't speak Italian. 12 minuti.
So I would give it another 8 in here, and then we'll finish it
Yeah.
2 minutes in the sauce.
It's looking good.
Didn't we put the butter in
Yeah,
there somewhere?
just about to say some butter.
Wonderful. Looks great. Looks the fun. Oh, just wait. We're
How
doing a
did you
wrist,
know
we're
that?
doing a wrist check. We didn't finish the wrist check. Laura, what have you got on there? You haven't told us what you've got.
I've got my my Date Just. It's my everyday watch. I absolutely love it because it's easy. It doesn't get too much attention, and it's just standard.
Except in
And-
London.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, but I don't live here, do I?
Your hand is going.
But I do
Mayfair
have
with
an
that.
Arcos fermoir, which in English is
A little
Close.
clasp.
Close.
Yeah. And so there, there's like they're more secure, so you've got a little key in here, and so now you can't open it. And I use it for swimming mainly, because my watch can't fall off.
Oh,
And then you
that's
can-
really clever.
I mean, he's got a magnet pen kind of thing to make it easier to remove the key, but I just do it with my nails.
That's really clever.
But yeah, it's nice. Cost,
Why aren't
but-
Rolex putting that on their watches?
Well, he's talking with the brands. I think he's
Ah.
talking with Richard Mille and with different brands, including Rolex, to have it as a standard.
Yeah, to stop the sleight of hand theft,
Yeah.
definitely. But if it's someone saying, oi, then they're getting it either way. But the sleight of
Yeah.
hand stuff is actually how a lot of this stuff goes. Like Barcelona, when you get those guys that kind of like gyrating on
Yeah.
you and then like stealing your watch somehow, saying, sorry.
Did you get that?
No, I've never had that. I never watch it. I don't wear a watch in Barcelona. It's not worth being gyrated on.
Did you alright with guys in Barcelona?
No, not anymore. No, not in the past few years.
Phase.
Yeah, it
Latest
was
phase.
a brief aggressive phase.
Do you
That's
think
good.
this?
It's amazing.
I mean, if someone does get aggressive with you and you physically can't take it off, maybe it kind of works.
Well, he says that you should never go out without the key on you. Like you should always have the key somewhere in your pocket or in your bag. Or
There's not much
See?
they can do because if they can't get it off, they can't get it back. Chop your hand off, I guess.
If they really want your watch, they'll just pull it and it'll break.
Nice. What a world.
So
What a time
that's
to be
my little
alive.
special thing.
It is curious, isn't it? I mean, I'm sort of inclined to say, if it comes down to it, then I'm all good. God knows how many watches we've had come and go, that you sold and you regret,
Yeah.
or that you don't regret, or that you didn't buy, or that I just feel like it's a curious one because I remember seeing something similar to that.
It's always replaceable.
Always replaceable.
Your life is just
Yeah.
about,
I'm almost
so.
inclined to say get it insured if possible, and then you've got that knowledge that you can wear it with confidence. There was a buckle, there was a lock thing that was a few years back that was designed by a colleague of ours in the media, the watch media world, and it was sort of tricky because people were either positive and like, hey, I hadn't thought of that, or they were like, God, you need to be careful. I wouldn't want to be wearing that because I'm always locked in. I'm locked into a cage. So it's a curious one. Like, I
think
really don't
it
know what the answer is. But
Depends on where you are. We were talking about Abu Dhabi earlier. I think Abu Dhabi, you wouldn't even need anything like that. I mean, you probably needed to swim, or which is why it was invented at first. But in a place like London, you probably wouldn't want to wear it because you'd rather have someone take your watch. In Geneva, you would want to wear it because people are not inclined to attacking you physically and really trying to beat you up, but they're more inclined on trying to take it off your wrist. Would you ever move from London because it's not safe?
100%.
Where would you move?
Anywhere. No, I have actually moved out of London. I'm born and bred. It's probably a bit graphic, but yeah, I've been in London all my life and I've moved out. So enough of it. Can't have anything nice. And as I look to potentially breed at some point, do I want my child?
Grass-fed?
Probably, yeah, it probably will be grass-fed.
Do you want to give it a taste, or did you? already?
what have you done? We've missed
It's all been going on, hasn't
We've missed a
it?
step there.
We've put the pasta in the sauce.
That pasta has
Technical.
got into that sauce. It's got so much chili in it. It's
you want
going to be
us to put-
unpalatable.
We're
You
gonna
wanna do that?
No, I'm going to supervise.
Yeah?
gonna be
Okay.
absolutely
How many
unpalatable.
scoops do you want?
I think you're doing a great job.
we're gonna probably need a bit of that pasta water. Can I get you to grate the parmesan?
Absolutely, sir.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh no, I'll give him the micrograter. That way he doesn't.
Do you know that I was telling Dylan this yesterday? But this was originally a tool to grate wood.
Oh wow.
And then some man's wife used it for cheese and for garlic, and it worked so well that it's now been marketed for cooking.
What's that? Just out of interest.
Lonely nights.
Another cutaway. Sorry, I just got slightly distracted. That caught the eye, and
Only you would find that.
That's a plug of some kind. I'm not. Right, where's the cheese, sir? There it is, the Parmigiano. How many years old is this Parmigiano?
It's
Dopo.
matured for a minimum of 18 months.
18 months.
So,
God, I love Italy.
Tom, what's the best moments you've had in your career so far? What's like your biggest wow?
we are at the pinnacle of his career right now.
Low bar. Yeah, well, there we go. This, so it gives you an idea of how depressing the past 10 years have been. I get to do a lot of cool stuff. So I've driven a Formula One car, like a legit Formula One car,
Where?
like a podium placing Formula One car. I think it came third. And
it wins all the podiums.
All of them, not all of them, sadly, for Renault F1 team. But it was a V10 era F1 car. This was maybe about 6 years or so ago. And I actually got paid to do it down in the south of France with Renault F1.
And you get paid to do things
I
that
would have
you've
done it
always
for free.
dreamed of doing.
I would have paid to do that.
Well, there were two paid slots. There was a few of us sort of or sort of, I think it was like a famous person, then a couple of social media people, whatever. And then I think there were paid slots to make, because they have to bring all the the trucks and everything. Like there's proper F1 setup.
How much did it go for?
I think it's about 80 grand, and you get to do 3 laps.
Insane.
So it did you.
Basically, yeah. Not my one, maybe your one. So yeah, that was great. So basically, I'm a professional Formula One driver because I got paid to drive Formula One cars.
Yeah.
So that's where I was going with that. I've got to own a load of cool cars over the years. Like some cars I never, growing up, I never thought I'd have or get access to the stuff I do. Recently, I presented an event for Porsche in the Middle East. There were 30,000 people there, and I
saw that.
Yeah, I never thought that. Anyone would let me do that.
How did you prepare for that? Like to stand up and...
My prep is no prep. I'm best when I'm just locked into something and have to work it out. I mean, it's not that exciting, but for me, I just thought it's my favourite brand on earth. Porsche is just great. And, doing presenter work and having an earpiece in my ear with someone talking to me and me interviewing all these famous people and sort of bigwigs from Porsche, doing a world premiere for one of their cars. My job when I was at law school, coming out of that, I didn't...
Excuse me?
Yeah. I can read and write, I know, it's probably not anymore.
What?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
I actually have an education, it's bizarre, I know. It's complete waste that was.
So how did you segue from...
So I did a law degree, went to law school, then I went into finance, working on trading floors, doing sort of semi-legal type stuff. So
how many screens did you have?
Not many. I was very small potatoes.
I rank
tiny
traders.
Potatoes. Yeah. No, not even a trader. So just that miserable little toad in the corner, scraping a living. Funny story actually. I nicked the CEO's space one day in my Ferrari, and bear in mind I was really junior, not someone that showed a Ferrari. I tailgated a cyclist into the corporate car park. There's only 3 spaces for the C-suite, and I nicked his space. And then this thing went around on the email system, who was part of their Ferrari in the CEO space. And it was the perfect crime because no one expected it was me, and I just kept quiet, sat there. In the end, my boss grassed me out. But luckily, the CEO found it hysterical once he found out who it was, because he thought it was one of his heads of desk or something. But no, just some chump in the corner. But I actually set up a fitness company at the same time as when I went into banking, and I kind of grew an audience of young guys. Basically, they like the gym, and they also like cars and watches. So it kind of went that way.
Young fitness bros or
Meatheads,
young fitness finance bros like cars and watches.
Basically, men like me that are overcompensating. Yeah, that's it. Okay. we like the gym, we like shiny watches, like shiny cars.
What are you overcompensating for?
Well, that was kind of the joke, really. I think it loses some of its allure if I go into it. Ask Ianthe. It's the reason she looks so miserable all the time. She doesn't. Anyway, got him.
Now that we don't have parmesan to add on this, I don't know what to do. It looks sad. Do you want to put the bad tasting cheese on it?
I think there's a clear winner. There's a clear winner here.
See, that's the thing about most cheese. It goes like plastic gloop. Why does that have the sprinkly Italian vibe to it, and this just looks like something my
Because
dog
we
did on the
have,
stairs.
it's all in the ingredients, and we've had to
Listen.
just put the bar lower because of your vegan.
Go vegan.
Please God, can we get in here? I'm sorry,
Yeah.
that looks so bloody good. Can we
That
just
does look really nice.
Wow.
Are you gonna have some of the non-vegan one?
No, just straight into the bin. We filmed, haven't we? Yeah, of course I will. And with the less said the better.
So the pasta itself is
Good.
cooked to perfection. Good. That is. It's got a bit of bite to it. Wow. We knew there was some chili in there.
Yeah, I'm a bit scared of the chili.
Christ
thing.
almighty, that has got
Did
some.
you go wild? Please,
No, it doesn't have
eat it.
some.
And how are you good? Are you good with spice? Yeah, it's got a bit
What would you do if I dropped it?
of a fight to it. That. It's nice. I like that.
We have actually. You know what? That's not bad either. It's not bad either. But
It looks worse than it tastes.
Yeah,
both pastas
presentation.
are cooked to perfection. Al dente.
Oh, I like that. Can I eat? Is basil edible? I don't know if it's ornamental or not.
Yeah, no, it's edible.
Yeah, lit.
Yeah, you can have it.
Strawberry you're not meant to eat.
Yes, we've got to eat, so dig in.
Wow.
You haven't told us about your watch.
I got Speedy on. I just thought I'd wear something nice and sort of daily-ish and not relatable, but like kind of just iconic and sort of day to day.
That's taking you back there a bit. Because you're surprised, I think, how much you've enjoyed that.
I've never really been the most massive Speedy fan. It's never been like the icon for me, but in the past few years I've just started to really appreciate them, and I don't know why. Obviously they're amazing, but yeah, I've been living in this thing. I just think it's fantastic. It's just Speedy Moonwatch Pro is the new one that's out. It's not vintage, it's not particularly rare, but I just think as a package it's great. And I got it with about 1 million straps with it as well. So I got the mesh. But this one's basically the Moonswatch strap, so Velcro.
What did you think of the whole Moonswatch collab?
I think at the time I didn't fully understand it, and I thought, why would Amiga want like 5 million people wearing plastic Speedies? What does that do for them? But actually now I do see that it's dragged people in, and it's got them on that first step, got that watch sort of. Because everyone's got that first watch, the watch that they got dragged into watches by when they were younger, be it their dad's watch or something, or they've always got that entry level piece, even when they were a kid.
Yeah.
So I think having those Moonswatches, I think drags people in and shows them, the slippery slope of watches when they might not necessarily have thought that the Speedy thing was for them and that they could afford to get in. I think it's been good
It's been a
for
great
them.
thing for all of us, I think, in the industry. It's been a great thing because
Sorry, you're just sort of holding food up for me here. I feel like
she's cooked it, you slated it. She's been good enough then to hold it, and you're now eating it. So
This is misogyny in its purest form right here.
Did you
Yeah.
put cream in?
And fake cream.
Okay.
Yeah.
with the brandy.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's got a bit of brandy
Brandy
kick now.
I
Should we-
may not
Do you
have spat it out.
There you go.
It's no worse than what's already gone into it, is it? That's not something I'm grateful.
Who votes? Because how do we get the final
Should we
Yeah.
do it in the comments?
comments?
Yeah,
There's
comments.
Comments. Zach.
Well, I feel like we should get more bonus points for accommodating to Tom.
But that's not going to win, is it? I mean, and the people watching this, they're like, there aren't any
You
watch
want
geek
us to
vegans.
lose.
There aren't any. There is that crossover, that Venn diagram. There's no one in there. It's just me.
You seem to get a lot of pushback.
Yeah. Because my audience are guys,
Yeah.
and they're guys that they want to, and kind of.
So we
cheating.
didn't get to what was on your wrist.
Oh, my wrist.
Go on, go help me out here.
I ate half of it.
I'm in my skinny arc at the moment, so.
He's loving the carbs. He's just soaking it all up. This is a 41mm Mojave from IWC Pilot's watch.
Love that.
Just the case is just unlike anything else.
Perfect size. Perfect.
The 41 is the format that I think it is the Pilot's watch in the best, most wearable combination. It's come in 46, it's come in 39 over the years. I just like this 41 and I just love the colour of it. I'm wearing it a lot. I remember when they launched the 44 a couple of years back, and it was wow, that colours. And I think that was the start of. They've always done coloured ceramics, but I don't see that is. But this is my favourite. This is my favourite, I think.
Full
So
watch.
And I alternated daily wise between the Oceana Blue, which is the 41 blue ceramic version of that. I love it as a daily watch, and those straps they're kind of rubbery. They've got the fabric appearance, but actually
Exactly.
you spill stuff on them, it just kind of runs straight off. And screw down crown, so you can actually get it wet without sort of panicking.
yeah.
I think it's amazing. I absolutely love it, and I would have got that one if it wasn't for that. I've got the Mojave Big Pilot.
You
So I'd obviously doing some cool stuff.
And especially this year with that award, the Eternal HPHT, that feels like they're getting a bit of a run now, which is nice.
Yeah,
You know,
well deserved. Well deserved. Great brand.
Have you ever had to choose between two different watches? And like, what's the most difficult time you've had to choose between two watches to buy?
So buy.
Yeah, for yourself.
God, for me, it's always about emotion first. Like I know now that the best watches for me, the ones that I wear the most and enjoy the most and keep for the longest, are the ones that immediately I see it, and I've got a watch here, funny enough, I had that emotion with.
Get it out.
Should I? Let me give you a little shot. So this Longines Ferrier here, I knew as soon as that popped up on.
Wow.
It was on Watchbox. It was on 1916 company. The minute that I saw that, it was a limited edition. Well, it wasn't actually a limited edition, but they produced 10 of them. And as soon as I saw that colour, I just thought that's it. And I saw it years and years ago at William & Son, where they were stocked, and I'd seen this configuration because it's just a little bit elegant. I think this dial is actually made by the same factory as your one because it's got quite a puffiness to it. But that colour, just immediately, it was one of the most elegant colours I've ever seen. And that's before you get to the natural escapement micro rotor that Longines Ferrier is now sort of recognised for. So yeah, white gold.
That's stunning.
And
also the blue strap that you put it on just kind of sets it off.
I don't even know how to describe it really. It's got a sort of a bit of a guilloche, not a guilloche, it's almost like a Geneva seal striping on it almost.
It's fantastic.
But it's just, the minute I saw that I knew I had to have it. And so to answer your question there, Laurie, it's never really a battle between two. It's more about the battle between how the hell you make that one happen, what you need to move on to make that one happen. And for this one, unfortunately, there were quite a few casualties.
Is this white gold or black?
White gold, yeah. There are quite a few casualties I had to be sacrificed to make it happen, but I'm pleased. It's just
incredible. Love that.
It's all emotion. It's got to be. It's got to be. You can feel it. You can see it. You love it, and
I love the calligraphy of the numbers.
Yeah, the type font itself is. I don't know how you.
I think typography, Longines Ferrier, they absolutely nailed it. Their numerals and the way they write.
Even the font size. The font size. It is so elegant. It's so small. You can see he spent many years at Patek during the golden years of Patek because he's all about proportion. He's all about design. And I'm not being paid a sausage to say it, but he might just be, in my mind, the greatest living watch designer out there. In my mind, not watchmaking wise, but from a finishing and design perspective, he's just got an eye. Look at the case shape on that. It's just
I agree.
so. Are we allowed to swear? Are we allowed to swear? I don't know.
Yeah.
So elegant, that case. Look at it. It's just.
Demonetized.
We'll just beep it.
We'll beep it. It's so elegant. Look at that case. Even in the hand, it's a jewel. It's an absolute jewel. And this to me, this is watchmaking. And unfortunately, as the years have gone by, this is what's been really exciting me, this type of stuff, which is meaning that it's becoming more and more expensive, which is difficult.
Fantastic.
Even the buckle.
How many do they produce a year?
Couple of hundred a year. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure exactly on how many, but a couple of hundred. Brands like to keep, brands like to keep that to themselves. Small volume, and the team are amazing. It's a small team. Yeah. I've been and seen the watchmaking. Have you been to the HQ?
I've never been. I really want to go there.
Building,
really want to go.
Slanted stairs and.
So I was up to my neck in that brand years ago, wasn't I?
Yeah. Well, I picked you up a strap when I was out there last for your Grand Sport Auto.
You did. World's thickest rubber strap. Yeah.
So that's the one there. That's one that's pure emotion. God, if we're show and telling, if we're doing a little bit more,
yeah, please.
I should just whip this one out because this is a watch from yesteryear, from another man that spent a long time at Patek, Mr. Roger Dubuis, a brand that is seemingly evolved in a very different way to the way it was back in the 90s. Yeah. But just take a second to soak up this strap. This came from Japan, this strap recently. Atelier Tamo.
Wow.
Is that not amazing? Is that not amazing? You can design what you want. I think it's entirely bespoke, but
plant-based?
Could well be. You'll have to double check with them. But I just love this colour.
Is this an enamel dial?
It's actually a lacquer dial, I think. The information out there on these watches is few and far between. He did make 28 of them because that was his desk number when he was at Patek. So everything he made was in 28. He did them in 37mm and 40mm. This is a 40mm homage, white gold. Looks to be untouched.
Perpetual calendar.
Perpetual calendar. Very just awesome. An unusual format in a way that I've not seen perpetual calendars look like that, where there's an asymmetric dial. It's that lacquer finish. It's quite puffy, thick lacquer finish.
What a thing.
Yeah, it's just
And you get the warmth of the dial. It picks up the straps. So
exactly. I'm pretty obsessed with that idea of the strap and the watch and how we find the best colour to fit that to make it feel like informal but fun.
Because Roger Dubuis in my
say that
in
one
my
time?
mind. Roger Dubuis.
Fantastic.
It screams Mr. Wonderful, and this is so far from
Exactly.
that image.
I love that. And Tom and I've talked about that Chanel he's got there because in people's minds they see that name and they get it.
Shall I get it? Yeah.
No, what I love is it's a bit like clothes, you know, the idea of mixing different genre and styles. You've got something a bit more tailored with some training. This is the name on the dial that you would never connect with the brand that you know today, that we all know today. A bit like Tom's got this Chanel, and we've talked about how much we love the fact that people see that name on the dial and it's not what they'd expect from fine watchmaking. The Monsieur in... What's the gold?
It's called beige gold.
Beige gold.
I mean, they could have worked on that name a little bit. I mean, beige.
But it's a bit like the sand gold.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's kind of like in between.
What I love about that is the movements. Obviously, Romain Gaultier, Chanel bought a chunk of them
Caliber one.
some moons ago, and the typography they use, the font that they use, is a specific font that Chanel have designed for that watch, and it's nowhere else.
This
I'm
is
a bit of a geeky book.
Thick strap as well. No, you've got
Amazon, mate.
Is it?
Yeah.
Some real thick. Because we've gone for a similar colour there. Like we've gone for
Yeah.
a sort of greeny.
It's an annoying strap size, this though. It's 22 mil across the lugs, and then the buckle, because the buckle's a work of art as well. Trying to get a 22 mil strap that actually has the right buckle width as well. And the reason I knew that this strap was available, I saw on S-Song, you know, in Singapore, I think it is.
He's in Malaysia.
I saw the flip side of one of their straps, and then I googled where did you get that strap, because I didn't want the black croc one on there. So yeah, Amazon, 27 quid.
Those are two great examples of buckles. I actually quoted because I thought I'd lost this buckle, and I spoke to Roger B, and they're prepared to make me one in white gold.
Wow.
But for 2,800-ish quid for the buckle.
What?
Yeah, they were going to make one, and I found this.
No wonder they're going to make
in
it.
the safe. I found it.
Cheers,
in the
guys.
safe, and it blew. That was last week. It made my week. But you're right. The buckle's got to be right, because to me this is design, right? This is.
Yeah,
It's part of it. Yeah, it's part of it.
What's your immediate take on it?
Wait, can I?
Let's keep. God, we'll take that back.
Yeah.
Let's take this one.
Oh, I need to try it on. I feel like
Oh, I
it's
missed the
hard
jump.
to tell.
Bugger. What a shame.
Yeah, in an hour.
Well,
Say it again.
it feels like a new Spider-Man movie. You know, you don't really know what to expect. We like the originals better, but it feels a bit brutal. I don't think I'd buy it, but
Was you short on the wrist of a chap, an Italian gent, across the room
Would that be
in Florence, just on a beautiful sunlit evening, rosé in hand?
Would it make you want to like learn Italian?
that is my favorite kind of Duolingo. I don't love it,
That's okay.
but I feel like I'm trying to really like. I don't really have a set
Is it
opinion
making
on
you
it.
connect to any other watches? Does it make you think of any other watches out there? Or does it feel like anything else you've ever tried on?
Well, it feels very sporty, and like, and I would understand that, like in cars, you'd like this watch because that's what I'd expect someone who likes this watch likes, you know.
Okay.
But like, I don't think
You're
it
a
doesn't
moron.
look. No, but like, it doesn't look like a tennis player's watch. It doesn't look
No.
like a golfer's watch. It doesn't look classical enough to
No.
be like, you know.
It's a
polo
great
watch.
London
It's-
piece, and I think the benefit of being able to wear it wherever I like.
But
Massive.
still get that little nod from watch collectors.
If you know watches and really know them, and you're super
Has
boring.
anyone ever recognised
No
that?
one.
No.
Other
Because it
than like you.
It would send a shiver down the spine if you did spot it. I mean,
You have to go and have a
that
chat.
person- Yeah, you'd have to. You absolutely have to.
Straight over there.
But the finish is beautiful. Like the watch is beautiful. It's just not my taste. Like I don't feel like I'd wear it.
It's not usually my thing either. I don't usually go for DLC watches with red bits on, and it's the only piece in my
It
collection.
is the
that's like
most avant-garde design out of the lot because this watch comes in a bunch of different formats, and that black and red is probably the punchiest in the sort of
With the red lumen.
It can be dialed down, and it is dialed down in different formats. But it's such a small production brand. I mean, you know, it is owned partly by Chanel now.
Yeah.
But he makes so few of them. I don't know how many Romain he makes, but
But the strap's really beautiful for especially for a rubber strap.
you could swim in that. I'd train in this. This is quite a contentious issue. What would you exercise in, watch-wise? I personally don't like any exercising in any watch, for me personally, but I would in this, and I have done with an Elegant in the past, but I would never, that would kill me to swim in that, or to train in that in any way. Because the clunking of it and the wrists, like, get it off me. Whereas I find like this, I reckon you'd wear all the time in doing anything, because you could always wear it, just without even noticing on the wrist. Maybe that's, I've not wearing it for long enough, but that's what I imagine it would be like.
I train in my watches. Yeah, I'd rather that than. No, that's even nice. It's a bit odd.
No, it's good.
Do you do that?
It's like sleeping with socks.
Just checking.
Yeah.
God, that's odd. That is so odd.
Couldn't do it.
No. Do you have good circulation?
I would like to think so, yeah.
You got warm feet or cold feet? No.
I'm gonna get coffee.
Why do you have to make it weird?
I only said that because my wife's circulation of her feet is so poor, and I haven't counted, and maybe this is unfair, but a lot of women I've met have got terrible circulation. Again, I don't know if there's anything biological in that. Maybe we should, maybe we'll have a surgeon comment underneath.
Oh, it's stunning. See, I like that car a lot better than I like the watch.
Yeah, I mean, this
slightly more
50s
expensive.
Ferrari. It's not. It's inarguable.
Yeah. It reminds me of an old pagoda.
Yeah,
A little bit
yeah,
of shape,
Pagoda
it's very
shape.
pagoda
Or is it
shape.
Pagoda came out after this, I think.
Also, this was almost the inspiration for it. When would this be driven? When are you going to drive this?
That's insane.
I don't know, to be honest. You need one. I don't know what. Hurry.
Do you want to tell us about your new series? I think you started.
Started
like
recently.
in November, right?
Yeah, the show and tell.
Yeah.
I mean, well, the reason I was so excited about this was because I think you guys have got the format. I'm preempting positivity from people out there, but the idea of having lots of voices coming in in one conversation is really interesting. You know, and you've seen that with guys like, you know, About Effing Time in the past, where you have lots of views coming in, and that's really, you know, interesting. And gone are the days of just sort of, I think, just, you know, heavy product focus and stuff, and I think now it's a bit more dynamic. So yeah, that was the first, and it was very much a little trial, to be honest. And the feedback's been really great. So I'm thinking for this year to come, it'll be fun to just bring some interesting characters together. Hopefully characters from different worlds, you know, different realms, different views, different energies. That's where it gets really interesting. I was actually watching early Top Gear episodes the other day, and I was trying to work out why it was such a success, like the formula. You know, they got on great, of course, they're mates on screen and off screen, they love the subject, but they didn't always agree. You know, they didn't always agree. Whether that was just for the show or not, I don't know. But it was fun to see people kind of disagree and push back as well. And it's nice for you to sort of give your thoughts on that watch, that maybe, you know, we would have just circle jerked, you know, had we been here together. So hopefully next year, more of that, and a lovely guy I actually met through Tom, videographer, who's produced that, Pedro, done a great job. So yeah, that's definitely something for next year. But as always, it's a balance for us, you know, you want to do a lot more, but you've got to balance off, you know, doing more. Is it about quality? Is it about quantity? Is it about
And that's what
frequency?
Today, I think that's, as content creators, it's like this balance between quality and quantity. Like, what is more important? What do people want to see? And I guess it's all algorithmically based, right? You know, algorithm wants you to post more.
Title and thumbnail. That's pretty much it on YouTube. And actually, the elephant in the room as well. These things are expensive to shoot. They're a nightmare. There's no. I mean, a video does 100,000 views. You maybe make $500, $600 out of that via AdSense. You know, and to shoot one of these for the day, videographer, production, 1,500 quid. Maybe a couple of grand if you go wild. So as a business, unless they're monetized, it's a nightmare. And there's a reason why YouTube channel's me running around with a handheld, because otherwise it's just,
And you edit
you're spending money. Yeah, and I edit all myself,
Yeah.
I film and edit everything myself, because otherwise it's not viable. So yeah.
How long does a video take you? Sorry.
Go ahead.
My videos are 20 minutes. Anyone that's watched my channel will be able to, would have worked that one
No,
out.
how long does it take you to, like, from start to finish to, like, produce the video?
20 odd minutes. Yeah, pretty much everything that goes into the video was what I filmed.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, there's no like hanging
He's really
around.
good.
It's just run and gun.
He's
and
not
then-
mispronouncing things.
But even though I do, I just sort of, because I know I'm editing it, I'll just instinctively go back to the first available point that I can jump cut at, and then just because I'm editing it as well, I know.
What software do you use?
Final Cut Pro.
Final Cut Pro.
And I film everything in the edit in the order that I edit in, and I delete on the go as well. So if I know I'm not going to use a clip, I just get rid of it there and then. So everything I've got just gets dumped straight into the timeline, and then it's just a matter of like music, slow mo, sound in and out, and then.
Have you always done it like that?
I had an editor early days, and we split the AdSense on the channel.
Because I may have scrolled down to the very first video on your channel.
When it looked good, yeah, that wasn't me.
When you had a beard.
Yeah, the beard was. I was with my ex at the time, and I guess it was just like a one-man social experiment. What will she hang around for? Where is the cutoff? It turns out there wasn't. No, there wasn't. No, it wasn't a cutoff.
What was the cutoff?
She just went with it. No, she was happy with it, but yeah, God rest her soul.
Sorry, I completely jumped in. It was like
No, just spot on. Yeah, it's just that balance. I think I'm so impressed, Tomboy. You know, I think that's sometimes something that's misunderstood is the skill set that goes into some of these things. You know, having the eye, developing an eye to see what you like, what you need to shoot, and editing it. Yeah, it's just one of those things. It's great fun. I'm not operating like that. I have to lean on others to help me. You know, bottom line is it's great. It's all great fun, and so I'm excited for next year just to continue meeting interesting people and talking about interesting watches and. You know, seeing what brands do next year. We've seen so much action this year in terms of acquisitions, in terms of new watches, in terms of smash hits and stinkers and shitters and all sorts of stuff. So it's going to be great.
All right, everyone's got to name a brand that makes shitters.
No. No.
So you reminded me of your client list. No.
I won't name any either. I mean, I love an invoice, so I'll keep quiet.
Okay, here's a brand that you're most excited about for next year. Just one brand that you think next year is going to be their year.
TGE. Because I think that it's going to be really interesting to see what Antoine Pan does with the brand. I think he's also returning to the brand. And when he worked at the brand, is about the moment I met him. So as a kid, I remember that whole team from TGE that kind of spread across was fantastic. And the brand was really thriving. They did this world tour with TGE, which was very innovative at the time, maybe 2008, 2009.
Can you say the tag again one more time?
TGE.
Sorry. Apologies, sorry, it's so good. That's even better than the other two. That's even better. Sorry. But can he have an impact in that short time? Because that's something that people don't appreciate. Is the lead time for these guys, the CEOs coming in, is quite tricky to have an impact on.
Because they've already made what they're going to bring out this year.
Yeah, for years, no?
Fair, but I do think that with Rolex stepping out of F1 and TAG probably stepping in a bit more, it'll be interesting to see how they change the communication. I mean, he originally comes from marketing, so we'll see a shift anyway. What direction? That's TBD. But I think it'll be interesting to.
Especially in the UK, I thought that TAG in the UK, they're not doing much of a marketing push. You rarely see any marketing material from TAG or any activations or anything like that. They seem to be a little bit quiet in the UK. And I think the UK is quite
from like the retailer's perspective, but not the brand. There's no communication or
no.
But did you like the F1 watch that was relaunched this year? Because that
the Kith?
Yeah,
I bought one. Yeah,
that
straight
seemed to
in.
go
on the bracelet.
that was fun, right? That
eggshell
was
dial. Yeah, great.
Yeah,
I wear it all the time. I was going to bring it today, but then
2025 brand to keep an eye out for?
Romain Gaultier.
Yeah, he's the insider, isn't he? He's the insider pick.
Yeah,
and I think
Chapek actually, they got their 10th anniversary this year coming, 2025. I don't know if we're in it yet, and apparently they've got something coming which you won't have seen coming. Apparently it's completely different to what they've been doing. I mean, they do some far out stuff already, but apparently what they're making is hell. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Apparently.
They're pretty good at mixing tradition and innovation. I think that water drop watch they released.
Yeah.
I watched someone last year.
Yeah, sold out instantly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like Chapek, and I think the people behind the brand as well. I'm not on the payroll at Chapek either. I'm actually just being nice. I bought the watch full price, so not yet.
what have you got? You've got these.
Find me some money,
Split
Xavier.
seconds.
Yeah, Rattrapon. Yeah. The original one. I love the brand. I think they're great. I'd have more if I had more money. I think it's a brand you're happy to spend money with. You don't mind lining the pockets of nice people. Yeah.
Have you ever seen a watch on someone and decided like it's changed your opinion about the brand, positively or negatively?
No.
What do you got? What you got for us?
Name drop, brand and person.
I reckon we're thinking of the same person, potentially. Good.
Let's move on.
2025.
Anderson Genève, a brand that is a bit of a sleeper hit, hasn't yet had, and for better or worse, because some of these brands we love have had these incredible rises and are struggling to maintain that level of velocity. Anderson Genève always, like the godfather, Sven Anderson, the godfather of independent watchmaking, he was there way before, we were loving it.
Yeah.
So for me, and they in the last few years have been making some world timers specifically, that have just been drop dead gorgeous, like aventurine stone dial city rings, 37mm eagle lugs, sharp lugs for I do sometimes do work with them, so I'm totally transparent. But wow, they are just doing some amazing stuff. So I'm excited for them next year. I think they are due a bit of a lift next year, and the insider collectors have already clocked onto them, I think.
Yeah.
So
Those jump hours are amazing.
Yeah, jump hours.
Those dials are unbelievable.
Yeah. 2025, Dylan?
Oof. I'm going to double down with what you said with Woman. I think the way that the trajectory of that brand has just been so strong, and they've just had like non-stop hits. It's so I think that will just really kind of push.
Logical too, I think, is coming, and then a smaller C maybe.
Yeah.
Some of the best
and
finishing
then
in the world.
something like a bit more skew off to the left. I would go with like Remy Coles. Very, very small production. Amazing guy. If you've ever met Remy, he's just one of the most humble and down-to-earth characters out there. He's done a subscription. He's got his new tourbillon, which has done phenomenally well. And then I believe he's going to bring out a three-hand or a time-only version.
Might have to get in the mix for
So I
that.
think
It's expensive, boy.
Get into those DMs.
but he's such a great guy, and because he won the prize at GBHG as well, I think that brought a lot of kind of visibility onto him. Yeah. So I think he will be one to look out for.
It's a great time. It's a great time to be in watches, isn't it?
Yeah.
So much creativity.
Good.
Talking about 2025, you're getting married, and if I'm not wrong, and it's going to make me sound like someone who's done her homework or who's a bit stalky, but you mentioned that you produced your fiance's wedding ring, or engagement ring, rather.
Yes.
And you said in your video, and I'm holding you accountable here, that you would talk about it on your Instagram account. And I couldn't find it.
No, I haven't yet.
Is it coming?
It is coming. So the diamond was sourced separately. Yellow diamonds are a nightmare. I went down a massive rabbit hole. It's like watches all over again. Complete hell. The big brands, the big brands that are selling these diamonds, obviously the stones they pull out and that they make the jewelry with, they're amazing. I'm talking about engagement rings. I don't know anything about high jewelry, right? And that's a different skill set as far as I'm concerned. But particularly just Bogo engagement rings where you've just got a main stone. The margin that they put on top of that stone, the money you're spending, because it's being retailed by the brand, but it's still come out of the floor. It's not their diamond. It's just they control the mine or whatever. So I did my research and I got the stone basically as close to the source as I could, and I wiped out kind of 80% of the margin and built it myself. But inside you okay, mate?
Yeah. Got a chili stuck in there.
Chili cheese
can happen. And inside the ring, actually, instead of getting her initials or my initials or birthstone or date or whatever you're supposed to get engraved inside the ring, there's a photo on her phone background of the dogs. We've got 2 dogs. And I got the outline of their ears put inside the ring. She prefers them to me anyway. And I thought if I put that in the ring, she's less likely to say no.
Or to remove it.
Or to remove it, yeah. Well, and it also means you can't set it on because it's worth nothing because it looks like someone's just doodled inside it. So that last point was a joke, maybe. And actually I had a hand in like polishing it and sort of making it and stuff. So it's sort of personalised rather than just going, give me that one off the shelf.
It was lovely to have you guys.
Thanks for the pasta.
Did we pick one of our favorites?
Which one was our favorite? Waiting for the votes to come in.
Oh, okay.
I prefer theirs, even though I don't eat it. We did a great job, and I'm actually very happy with it.
Can you tell I hate you?
We.
We. Did you have some? Oh yes, you said there was some stuff.
It was disgusting.
Okay.
Cheers, mate.
No, well, thank you so much for being the first guest on this show, and it means a lot to us. So.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate it.
It's great to have you.
I didn't have to pay for lunch today, so I'm happy.
We've got a doggy bag as well. No?
Tupperware in the corner. Oh, thanks, guys.
Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you guys again with new guests. Yes. Non-vegan.
Right, yeah?
You're up.
Thank you so much.
Man, well done.
Be awkward.